of friends that we haven't seen all summer. Good to be back inside the gym. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jamie Maggio. I am the Clippers sideline reporter. And I think I can speak for everybody when I say that we are so excited to get this season going. Great stuff on the horizon. So first of all, thank you all for being here. I know it's a Sunday. I know the Rams are home, blah, blah, blah. This is going to be a good time. Before we get started, just to give you a little idea about the format for today, starting at 1:10 p.m., and every 15 minutes thereafter, we'll have two players coming to the stage, and we'll do a Q&A back and forth. So we have two people walking around. We've got Ben over there, and we have Michaela over here. Give us a wave, Michaela. They will have the microphones. So please raise your hand if you have a question for the players. They will give you the microphone. State your name and your affiliation. Ask your question, and we'll keep it going. Looks like we might have one player ready to go, but we'll wait for Lou Will. Yeah. So first up will be Kawhi, Leonard, and Lou Williams, and we'll get them up here in just a couple minutes. But thank you guys for being here, and thank you for your patience. The real round of applause. All right, so first up, as promised, and even starting ahead of schedule, we have Kawhi Leonard and Lou Williams, both of you gentlemen. Thank you for being here. And again, time's to start with the audience questions. Jim Hill, why don't you do the honors of getting us going? Jim Hill from CBS, the only intro I'll do. Got a microphone here for Jim.
All right, Jamie, thank you very much. Gentlemen, good morning or good afternoon, and good luck this year. With all the things that are anticipated for this season, I'd like for you to talk about the excitement you have on this day getting ready, and also with the anticipation of what can happen. I'd like for you to talk about the process in which you can get to where you want to go and not skip anything in between.
All right, I guess for today, the excitement is just able to put on the jersey, be around the fellas again, and, talk about tomorrow. That's when our training camp begins. And like you said, it's a process, it's a journey, and we all have a focus and goal. And we'll figure it out tomorrow how we're going to get there.
Yeah, I'm just excited to get the process started. I feel like we made a lot of positive steps last season with the group we had. Obviously, with the addition of Kawhi and Paul and the other guys, we really feel like we have an opportunity to do something special here in the city of Los Angeles. So starting camp tomorrow, we look forward to getting that going.
Next question. Over here.
Hi, Helene Elliott from the LA Times. Lou, just curious, last season this team took a lot of pride in being scrappy and underdogs and a real team without superstars. Now you have two superstars. How does the dynamic change?
I think it's important for us to maintain that mindset. I think that works in our favor with the personalities that we have in our locker room. That should be the majority of our makeup. I don't think we should just stop being ourselves because we have the addition of those guys. I think all of those things mesh well together, especially when you're trying to do something at a high level. I don't know if there's a way to tell Pat Beverley to chill out, so I don't think that changes, especially for me. I don't think my mindset changes either. So.
Let's take one on this side in the front row with the blue shirt.
Thank you. A two-part question for each of you gentlemen.
Your name and affiliation, please.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Daryl Howerton, Hoop Magazine. Kawhi, first for you. You've been part of the 2014 championship Spurs, the 2019 championship Raptors. You've seen how teams are constructed. You kind of like the Clippers build-up and also wanted Paul George to come here. Tell me what makes up a championship team in your eyes. And Lou, the 2012 76er team you were on probably would have won a couple championships by now had it stuck together. You play with the Rockets in 2017, the Lakers in 2017. If those two teams were kept together, they'd be strong contenders. I want you to answer how frustrating it is when you have a great thing going and you see a championship going, and now you finally have it here. That's all.
Well, for me, 2012 was a very special year for me. I really enjoyed the guys that I shared the court with. We were very young at that time. We didn't have any egos. Everybody played selfless. We just laid it out on the line. We were an 8 seed, ended up knocking out a number 1 seed, and then taking Boston to 7 games. We felt like if we kept that group together, we could have possibly did some incredible things. But, you know, business is business. It didn't work out that way. It didn't happen. And, you know, those other scenarios kind of were just blips on the screen for me. So, but 2012 was different.
For me, just everybody being high character, sacrifice, wanting to win, determination, knowledge, you know, all that together, just being on the floor, going out there as one unit, all trying to accomplish that ultimate goal. You know, I think that's what drives a championship team. And, you know, you just figure out the bumps and roads on the way there. It's about enjoying the journey and not getting ahead of yourself, not skipping any steps. So, you know, that's what I think the process is on those two teams. But you also have to stay healthy as well. And, you know, you have to be blessed.
Next question.
Shelley Smith from ESPN. Kawhi, what'd you do with the fish?
Where's she at? What did I do with the fish? Like anybody else would do. Have somebody fillet it if you don't, or fillet it yourself. And cook it and eat it.
You ate it. What kind of fish was it?
I think we caught some rockfish, some salmon
Right.
groupers out there. I mean, it was a good time. It was a good day for everybody.
What was the technique you used to grab the biggest fish of the day?
I didn't grab the biggest fish of the day.
Well, then who did?
The lady, Denise did. Yeah, Denise. She grabbed the biggest fish.
I grabbed the smallest fish.
Was that the taco one?
They threw mine back in the water. That's how small it was.
Denise will be available later for questions about her big fish. Next question all the way in the back with the black shirt. Oh, I'm sorry. BT already go.
Brad Turner, LA Times. Lou, this is for you. You and Montrez combined to help you guys have one of the best benches in the NBA, but you guys have more depth now. How would that help you guys, and how beneficial would it be to have some more help off the bench?
Yeah, I think mentally for us, I think we should just stay in the mindset of just continuing to build, continue to grow. Having depth isn't an issue for us. You know, obviously, everybody should just kind of go into the season with the mentality of just putting stats and putting records and history and all of that stuff aside. If it's not for the benefit of the team, you know what I mean? And so, what Trez and I did last year was very special, but we look forward to building with this new group of guys and seeing what we can do.
Go front row here. Medina, did you have a question?
Mark Medina, USA Today. This is for Kawhi. From what the training staff's told you, how similar or different do you get a sense you'll be managed in terms of your workload this season?
It's different this season. Last year I was going in with the injury that I was dealing with the year before. It still was lingering, and we knew that I had to be healthy going throughout the season and making it to the playoffs. But, you know, this year I'm feeling good. I'm feeling way better than I was at the start of last season. But there's really no plan laid out yet to discuss with everyone.
Hey, guys. Cameron Buford here, Los Angeles News Observer. Got a question for each of you guys. Mr. Williams, what was your impression of Kawhi Leonard before him joining the Clippers? And then Kawhi, what was your impression of the Clippers before, obviously, you joining the Clippers? Thank you, guys.
My impression with Kawhi, I thought he was a top 5 player in the league. especially when he was in San Antonio. We hate running into him there. He always guarded me. I always knew it was going to be a tough night. What he brought to the table defensively, I was really impressed how he went to Toronto and changed the culture there and was able to win a championship with that particular group of guys. And I've just always been a big fan, so I was excited to have him here.
I wasn't able to play against him last year, just was dealing with injuries. The thing, a confident unit, play very hard. It seemed like everybody was, it was a brotherhood here. They all went out and did their job, and if somebody was doing great that night, they fed them. Coach Doc did a great job of just, getting that group ready and pushing them to the playoffs, reach expectations that none of us gave the team, and just going through my process for agency, that's what I looked at, and I thought I could join and help in.
Joe Varden from The Athletic. This question is for Kawhi. Kawhi, have you thought about next summer with Team USA in the Olympics, and some of the other All-Stars in the NBA have been declaring that they want to do it? So I just wondering where you were with that.
Right now, yeah, I do want to play, but, I'm taking it one step at a time, and right now it's getting the Clippers to the finals.
Next question on this side.
Hey guys, welcome back, Lou. Welcome, Kawhi. Kawhi, a question for you. Miriam Swanson with the Southern California News Group. How nice is it to be home? I saw some footage of you at Canyon Springs, I think recently, and obviously the backpacks thing that you're doing is great. But what's it like for you to be here back in Southern California?
It's one of the reasons why I came back is being able to go back to my community and for them to see me, able to touch them, they able to, shake my hand, just able to be there and be a guidance or inspiration for the youth. It's hard to do it when I'm either in, I'm being drafted in Texas. They really don't have no time. But the 2 games that we do come out here, and then last year I was in a totally different country, and I was on the East Coast, so it was only about twice that I came out here. But like I said, it's one of the big reasons why I came back. I'm able to be a part of the community that I grew up in and just let them know it's not a myth, and that I really, was just in their shoes one day, one of those days, and they could be in my shoes.
Next question over here. Let's go to Ramona in the back.
Thanks, Jamie. Ramona Shelburne, ESPN. Just a question for Kawhi. I know you were one of the people who attended Kobe's camp that he did, or secret invite camp up at the Mamba Sports Academy. What was that like with all the players that were there, and also what's your relationship like with Kobe now and what it's been like?
I think it's a good relationship. I didn't play, though. I just went up there and conversated with him. But it's a good group of talent that went. I wasn't really able to see them play against each other, but, he did a great job getting a lot of trainers together, elite trainers and the elite, players that were there and putting them through drills. I'm not sure what they did, throughout the whole day. I was up there for about an hour or two just talking to Kobe, bouncing ideas off of him, and that was just pretty much it.
Dan.
Kawhi, Dan Wecke with the Los Angeles Times. You've now changed teams. This will be your 3rd team in the last 3 seasons. What did you learn last year about having to come together quickly? And is that a reality kind of in the NBA now that teams don't have years to build, that you just have to do it fast?
If you can have a team, same group of players, you could get to the top. You've seen what the Warriors did in the last 5 years with their same core players. But, last year, me and Danny going in there, I think we just both had a drive and championship experience, and they just needed to get over that hump. Toronto Raptors been in the playoffs, several years before we got there. They just needed that little push over the top. And I think me and Danny went over there. We knew what a championship team needs, and we make sacrifices as players as well. So we just went in and with that group of talent, and everybody was smart, and we just bought into one goal. Yeah, I mean, like I said, last year, it seemed like watching them was like a brotherhood for them being on the floor together. They played with each other. They made sacrifices. They also have Coach Doc, great head coach, been in the league for a while.
Last question.
Hey, guys. Josh Martin, Close-Up 360 in the back here. Now, it seems like the way that the team has been constructed, you're going to have a pretty strong defensive identity. And when you think about building that, how important is it to you to have sort of an off-court chemistry, and what have you guys as leaders of the team done to help facilitate that?
We've done several things. Chemistry is a real thing. I thought it was important for us to be in the room with each other as much as possible, to start building that camaraderie, to understand what each guy brought to the table personality-wise. That way, once we get into the season, once we get into those fourth quarters where we need to communicate and our competitive spirits is high, your words won't be misconstrued. Your teammates can understand that you're coming from a positive place and you have a common goal of trying to win the basketball game. And so that camaraderie is important, when you get to know guys. And I think we almost, we speak every day, if not every other day, just building that and just understanding who each other are. So it's important.
All right, guys, thank you. Next up, we'll have Paul George and Montrezl Harrell. And Jim, do you want to get us going here?
First of all, gentlemen, good luck this year. And Paul, there's been so much talk about the great expectations of this team and where you want to go. Can you talk about the pitfalls that are out there that you have to be aware of so that you can get past them to get to where you want to go?
I think the good thing about my career and being where I'm at now is I've been a part of teams that we've built something in the locker room. We've built that brotherhood, and we didn't allow outside noise. We didn't allow media. We didn't allow anything to break us apart. And I sense that with this group here, how well and tight-knit we are already. And ball ain't even been rolled out yet. So I think that's most important, that we keep everything in-house, whether we got our ups, our downs. Everything is even-keeled. Everything is where everybody's on the same page, and, we go out as one. If we maintain that, and we're going to get through anything.
From this side, Nikki.
Paul and Nikki with Spectrum. It's one thing to know you're coming home and to finally have it come to fruition. Has there been any surreal moments where you wake up and you're like, I'm home for good?
The fact that I'm unpacking instead of packing at this time is a surreal moment. I mean, every day I'm here, every day I'm waking up in the morning, every day I'm taking that drive on the 405, is a surreal moment. And, ultimately what I wanted to get to in my career is being back home and being close to my people. So it's never going to get old, from me coming in today, having media day here, to putting on this jersey, to first game, to hearing my name in the starting lineup. Everything is going to be a reminder of where I'm at right now.
Andrew.
Andrew Greif from the Los Angeles Times for Paul. Could you just update on your status of your health, where you're at, what you think you might be able to take part in training camp, and also with coming back from a significant injury previously in your career, does that inform how you've rehabbed from your shoulders this time?
Yeah. As far as my health, I'm pretty good. I'll be in camp starting this week. Nothing contact, but all the 5-on-0 stuff, all the scripted stuff I'll be a part of. In terms of being, I'm used to being in this rehab stage and knowing what it takes to get my body prepared and get my body up to speed. It's a long process, but, again, I think me going through it and having a drastic injury in my leg, I know what to expect. I know what pressure to put on myself and what pressure not to put on myself as well. That comes with a lot of stress when you're going through rehab. So I'm just in a good place. I know what I need to do. I know what I'm capable of, and ultimately I know when my body's ready.
Trez, you're coming off such an incredible season, and you and Lou really had something special there going.
I forgot I was up here.
Yeah, no, you are up here. You are up here.
Thank you, Jamie.
Just following you on social media, you haven't had an off season, Trez. You've been playing a lot of basketball. Is there anything that you've been working on as you get ready for this coming season?
Everything, really. Definitely improving my offensive game, counters and stuff like that. Guys are, when they ultimately play me, go to take away my right hand because they know it's my dominant hand. So there's just different counters like that, different things like that. And, shooting the ball from, all aspects of the floor, mid-range, all the way out to the three-point line. And defensively, just improving on awareness, foot speed, lateral movement. So just being able to rotate and make those extra defensive plays when guys are beating, things like that. So as far as the offseason, you're right. I never really take off. I constantly stay around the game of basketball because I'm blessed to be able to play it and call it my job. So I look at getting better as a ultimate thing all summer for me.
And what I really want to know is how many new sneakers did you get? A lot.
A lot, yeah, a lot. I can't put a number on that, but definitely improved with my sneaker collection, most definitely.
Of course you did. Question here in the front row. Kurt?
Hey, Paul. Mark Medina, USA Today. What do you make of the trend league-wide where there's teams that have a duo of stars as opposed to big three, and how do you think that might affect the dynamic?
I think what Boston did was special. I think what Miami did was special. But I think it goes back to, you have two guys that are, the guys, and then you have a group around them that supports them to the highest level. And that foundation is around a lot of the guys in this league. You look at Milwaukee, you look at Philly, you look at the Lakers, you look at Houston, Utah. Everybody has their two guys, and then it's a heck of a supporting cast that's with them. So you can fill in that third spot with anybody to have a big three on all of those teams. So I think it's a good thing for the league. It changed the league, but it's good for the league. The big three, everybody was looking for a big three. It didn't work for a lot of teams. And so now this is a new dynamic for the new generation of this league.
Tevin, a question to both of you guys. At the other media day in town Friday, LeBron said the big winner was Staples Center. For you guys being the center focal point, for the first time, there's a legitimate rivalry between the two teams where both have expectations to win a championship. And you guys are at the center of that. What does that mean to you? How do you describe it?
I don't think we've really paid too much attention to any of that. We don't get into the whole back and forth thing. I think it's more so something for the city to do and basically for you guys to do as far as media. As far as us, we look at it as another game on the schedule that, just has to be played, and one that we have to go out there and prepare and in order to get ourselves ready to win. I don't think we get too much brought into the whole, LA versus LA type thing. I definitely agree with him, but as far as the Staples Center in general as a winner, because we both play in that building, so as far as that, I definitely agree with it. But as far as like the whole rivalry thing like that, I don't think, I know in our locker room, we don't really tie ourselves too much to that.
I say the same thing. I agree with what Brian said. The Staples Center is where you want to be with the team we got and with the team they have. But I don't put that pressure that that's the team that we necessarily have to compare ourselves up to 29 other teams that we got to go ahead and go against and compete against. It's not a head-to-head battle of LA thing. We got to come out, we got to play, we got to do what we got to do. Same way the 29 other teams got to do.
Dan.
Hey guys, Dan Wicke with the Los Angeles Times. Question for both of you. Trez, teams around the league have put together mini camps and have tried to get a head start into training camp, doing the team building things that typically would happen in training camp. How far along are you guys on that? Paul talked about it a little bit. How far along are you guys on that process? And then my question, Paul, you've been in this league a little longer. Do you think that's happening because guys realize how quickly things can change, whether it's player movement or whatever, so when you have a good opportunity, you try to maximize the chance you have?
I definitely think we're, farther along than people actually think. We've came in probably, right after Memorial Day weekend, and we've been playing pickup, and guys have been lifting weights and getting the extra cardio in and getting prepared to, what we're about to have come on Monday when we come in for the first day of actual training camp, and then going out to Hawaii, which is, an improvement of the team bonding and team building, even going over there. But, we've been going for a while, and, we just don't have that whole media source of everybody coming in and watching us. We're kind of those ones that kind of work behind the closed scenes and, get the job done. So we're a lot further along than people actually think, so.
Yeah, I think, to Trez's point, the second this came together, I mean, we were all in a group chat. We were all chatting, talking, laughing, building that togetherness, that camaraderie. The second, again, this came together. The second me and Kawhi became a part of this team. So that relationship was established early to where we came into the facility. It was, it was like I knew him. You know what I mean? I've been around these guys. I felt like it was already, we fast forward all of that getting to knowing each other based off of us just already being in that chat. And then I think you seize the opportunity. You know what's ahead. You know what you have. I've again been lucky to play and fortunate to play on some really good teams, and you just never know. You never know how that team's gonna shape up. In my case, I got injured, and Indiana, we went on a downfall from there. So you just never know. You never know what you have. So you got to give everything. You got to invest everything, and you try to pull the best out of that season, that group.
This is Pranav from the Scarecrow. Both of you guys play with a lot of physicality and toughness. How do you look to implement that when you guys play against other teams this year?
I don't look change nothing I'm doing.
We ain't changing nothing.
As far as the way I play, how physical I play, around the basket and everything, I don't look change nothing I'm doing. So I guess that answers that.
We ain't changing nothing. I'm going to be hyped to be more physical. Trez take care of it, right?
Nice.
Over here, guys, Brad Turner from the LA Times. Trez, you and Lou were dynamic off the bench. How much better can this bench be with additions to the team you have now?
I definitely think it grows a lot, Like I said, be able to be around Lou as much as I am in the summertime and be able to, get that extra bonding in, and different leagues that we play in down in Atlanta definitely does a great deal of help, and helping us form an even stronger bond of knowing the way, me and him kind of react and kind of feed off one another. But add the pieces that we have, including the pieces that we had last year, it just grows from there, really. I definitely think it's still going to be the same thing as me and Lou being the head of that snake, coming off the second bench and coming off the bench of, leading that group. But we have a lot of, guys that can definitely step in and do a lot more different things than what guys could do in the previous times for us, So I definitely think it improves us way more than it does hurting us. Like I said, we got different guys that come in and give a defensive presence on the floor, so we could definitely, save Lou to certain aspects of, on the other end of the floor, So I definitely think it's going to help us out a lot.
Beth Harris, AP. This is for Paul. I know you're in rehab mode now, but how seriously would you consider playing in the Olympics next year?
I would love to. Hopefully God willing, I can get through a season healthy. And when that time comes, I would love to be a part of the Olympics and represent. But you know, this comes first, obviously, and getting through this year, giving everything into this year, and you know, hopefully by June, you know, we the last team standing, and I'll deal with it at that point. Don't really matter if we go all the way, and you know, as long as I'm healthy. When I get to that point and I'm healthy, you know, I'm in. I want to be a part of that group.
And last one, where's Mark?
Paul, Mark Wicker from Southern California News Group. How much have you envisioned what this team is going to look like defensively? It was already a good defensive team. Now you've added 2 premier defensive players. As far as versatility and just being able to adjust during games, how have you envisioned it?
It's going to be scary. I mean, we got Lou Will. No, it's going to be scary. You know, with myself, Trez, Kawhi, Pat, Sham, Mo, Rodney. I mean, we really got a chance to do something special on the defensive end. And I think it's going to be an energetic thing. Watching Pat get out there and picking somebody up 94 feet, that's going to get me going. You know, it's going to get Kawhi going. And it's just going to become contagious on a nightly basis. So I honestly think for the first time, people is going to be excited to watch the defensive side opposed to watching the offensive team. So, you know, it's going to be fun. We can do a lot. There's a lot of versatility with what we can do. Guys guarding multiple positions, guys guarding bigger, guys guarding smaller. It's just a lot that we can go with. And it's a lot of guys that's committed to playing on that side. Who's going to score? You got to ask the other teams that. It's a question for them to answer.
All right, thank you guys. Paul George and Montrezl Harrell. Thank you guys. All right, our next group of players will be Pat Beverley and Landry Shamit. Shelley sneaking in a question. It's a good question, though. Who is going to score? He had a better answer. What'd you say? Pat and Landry. They're not scheduled for another couple minutes. group of players are making their way to the stage. Landry, Shamit, and Patrick Beverley.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Patrick.
Hello, everyone.
I'm going to start this one off, Pat. Congratulations on your new contract. And when I first saw that cross Twitter, I was so excited that you were coming back. How excited were you to be coming back and putting on that Clipper uniform again?
I'm super excited. I mean, anyone who's been around me the last couple of years, dealing with the knee injury, I mean, the city has opened its arms to me, accepted me for who I am, allowed me to be myself, and I mean, I have nothing but love for the city, man. I just want to, with that contract, I want to do as much as giving back as I possibly can, and I think the city deserves it.
Let's go get the mic in the front row here to Kurt. And just remember, say your name and affiliation, please.
Hey, Pat. Kurt Sandoval, ABC 7A. Congratulations as well on that deal. Shortly after that, a lot of big dominoes fell for this team. Describe the emotion you were on to just get the contract and shortly thereafter to see Kawhi join this franchise.
Well, I think thank you. God is good, of course, for the contract. But I think from a team standpoint, I think when we both got the news, I think it was I'm almost like we couldn't. I couldn't believe it. How did you feel?
Yeah, I was asleep, woke up, like my phone was blowing up. I thought I got traded. I thought because I've been traded before. I know what that feels like. Phone starts blowing up 2:30 in the morning. But no, it's exciting. Obviously, that's what you want. We knew we had a good group from last year, and we added pieces, and we're excited about where we're at.
Helen had a question here. Helene.
Helene Elliott from the LA Times. I'd like to ask you both. Last season, one of the great strengths of your team was that it was like this junkyard dog mentality, scrappy, no superstars. Now you've got two superstars in your midst. How does that change things? Or are these guys already shown willingness to kind of blend in and be one of the guys?
I think it's the same thing that you just said, that scrappiness attitude, but on steroids.
But not real steroids.
However you want to put it.
Landry.
Yeah, they both fit the mold. Everybody that we have comes in and has the same mentality from the top down. That's just how it is here.
In the back, Josh Martin, close up 360. Pat, I'm going to direct this one to you. With the additions, it looks like a big part of your identity this year is probably going to be on the defensive end. And considering your reputation on that end of the floor and your understanding of that, how important is it to develop sort of an off-court chemistry that can then translate into what you guys do on the court from a defensive perspective?
I think first off, the first part of your question, I think it's going to be the totally opposite. I think we're going to lay our hat on defense at all, but if I was a coach and I'm looking at this team and I'm looking for one person to help off of, it'll be me. So I have to be ready to, take the necessary shots or make the necessary plays. So when it comes to defense, that's going to be the easy part because that's what we lay our hat on. But for the most part, we want to get, as close together as we possibly can, that family environment that we had last year, and see what it takes us at the end of the year.
Landry, you were pretty much contributing to the team as soon as you arrived last season. Now that you're here and you're here for the beginning and the start of the season, training camp and fishing trips, how much do you appreciate being here from day one?
Yeah, it's just a different feel here, just with how much time we all spend together, going on fishing trips and going to Rams games and whatever. We're spending a lot of time, and I'm just glad I get to be a part of it. Glad the cards fell the way they did, and then I got to come here and join this great group. I'm just excited to, be here from the beginning to end.
Cameron Buford, Los Angeles News Observer. I got a question for both you guys. Mr. Beverley, You touched on it a moment ago about giving back to the city. Why is giving back important to you? And then, Landry, what did you do this summer to improve your game to become a better player? What specifically did you do? Thank you, guys.
For me, I think giving back, people would have gave back to the community I was from, maybe, the death toll wouldn't be a real thing that's going on. I think that giving back doesn't solve the problem, but it definitely helps it. It gives inspiration to the kids out there that do want to play basketball, that come from the neighborhoods that I grew up in, that you tell those guys that, someone like me made it, you guys can do it also. So giving back is a step, and, taking a small step is better than not taking a step at all.
And for your question for me about what I did to get better, I mean, I kind of, based on last season and the end of the year in that playoff series, I kind of expect how I was just trying to look at how teams were probably going to play me and trying to put me in a box saying I'm just a shooter. And that's not the case at all. So my biggest thing was just developing, and continuing to grow in the other aspects of my game, sharpening and polishing those things off. Putting it on the floor. I know people are going to be flying at me thinking I can't put it on the floor, but I'm going to, be better defensively, working on my body, getting stronger, just making sure I'm in a place to play 82 plus and be the best.
You guys, Montrezl was talking about the pickup games that have started after Labor Day. You guys have been playing for several weeks now. Just what do you guys learn about this group in that last month or so?
That Landry can shoot.
You didn't know that before?
Not the way he can shoot now. I mean, honestly, but this is the group that we really enjoy each other. We can police each other. We can coach each other. It's no big eyes, little U's. It's no ego. The low man on the totem pole, if that's the quote that you guys can use, or the top guy on it, whatever. It's none of that with us. It's you guys have a problem, communicate, nip it in the bud, get over it. Let's get better. Let's be great. And that's been our motto.
I think my biggest thing I've noticed is just how many time to me, just, whatever night it is, could be Lou's night, could be, Pat could be hitting, Kawhi, Paul, Trez could be feeling good. Like whoever it is, we can ride with them that night, and it's just crazy. You look around the gym while we're playing and just see how much talent we got, and just what options we have. And like he said, unselfish. No high man, no low man on the totem pole. We're just going to go with whatever we feel like is best that night and help us win.
So a question over here. Yeah.
Adam Osland, AM 570 LA Sports. Pat, we haven't seen three wings since you guys added PG and Kawhi this good on a team, maybe since the mid-90s Bulls with Harper and MJ and Scottie Pippen. So what are your goals or your expectations on the defensive side this year?
I think it will be hard this year, of course. We're not the surprising Clippers that we were last year, surprising people. People know exactly who we are, the targets on our back. So we're going to get everyone's best punch. It's up to us to be ready day in and day out. Defensively is going to take care of itself. We've been playing defense since we were a small child, so that won't change. Now it's just time to get to work.
Finley right here, Culver City News, Culver City Observer. Question for both of you. How is it playing for a coach like Doc Rivers?
I mean, Doc's great. He's been he's seen every aspect of an NBA organization from player to front office. So he gets it. If he's telling you something, it's coming from the right place. He's hard on you, expects a lot of you, but can talk to you like a player, like a teammate almost. But I mean, I got traded and got to play for him last year and this year. I mean, he's been great.
I think to add to that, Doc is he's a coach who preaches doing the right things, and for me, behavior is greatness for me, and greatness is behavior. The better your behavior is off the court, the better basketball player you'll become, and that's his message, and that's been his message, and it's really synced in with this group. The more we mature as individuals and as a team, we become that more dangerous on the basketball court.
Louis Keene, Real GM. Landry, are you anticipating playing more point guard this year? And what's your sense of how much more you'll be called on to do that? And for Patrick, as a leader of this team, bringing 2 new All-Stars into the fold, how do you expect your role to change as a leader?
I mean, my role, whatever is needed of me, I feel like I can do. And I expect that to change on a night-to-night basis. Those decisions are going to be made by Doc, as far as point guard or whatever. I don't really care. We got, as far as I'm concerned, probably 4 on the court at any point in time. So, it's kind of almost point guard by committee, maybe. But, for me, I'm not too worried about how many minutes I'm going to play at this position or that. It's more about just what is needed of me on a night-to-night basis. What can I do to help us be the best we can be and help us get as many wins as possible.
That is a hell of an answer, too.
Thanks, Pat. Trying to be like you.
Respect. I'm sorry, what was the last part of that question? Oh, nothing changes. We all, even Landry, it's his second year, but he's a leader also. We all a leader in our own little lane, whatever lane that is. Of course, each lane is different. And we just try to be the best in our roles that we possibly can be. And with that mindset, that'll take us a long way.
Next question.
Mr. Beverley. Right here, my man.
Good to see you, baby.
You too, bro. Corey McGuire with Fox Sport. I want to know, Pat, what were some of the things this summer that you worked on? I saw a lot of your workouts with Jordan Lawley and handled by Randall. Taking into account you had that knee injury, and now this was a full summer of recovery, and we're actually working on your game. So what were some things that you can take away from this summer?
Like you said, I was healthy this summer. I was able to train at a high level. I think off the court, behavior. You're going to hear me say this a lot this year. Behavior is greatness. Even with my teammates, family, and friends, my behavior's changed. You guys want me to be this guy in the corner who's just doing this, whatever. But I'm just trying to harness that because that does affect me. When you do second in the NBA in technical fouls, and those are the type of things that we don't want. So just trying to control that. And the best I do controlling that, everything else will kind of play out for itself.
Pat, how do you think your dominating skills playing paintball will translate to the basketball court?
I don't know. I still got scars to show mine. I think I was the only guy running around without a shirt on, so I guess I'm kind of psychotic.
Not surprisingly, Pat Beverley went next level playing paintball. Next question over here, Ramona.
Pat, I know you'll tell us how this actually went, but we've heard various accounts of this fishing trip you guys all went on. Paul's supposed to be this professional fisherman, but Denise caught the biggest fish, and then Kawhi was maybe next in there. So who actually won that competition? That's my first question.
I think I'll let Landry answer that.
Oh.
The question is what?
Who actually was it like a competition? Like Paul said, it was competitive.
It was, yeah. We all had like a bag with the number on it. I was out there just to be on the boat. I just want to be on the water. So I definitely was.
You was driving the boat?
They didn't let me drive the boat. It was a competition though. Denise did catch the biggest fish. That was crazy. But it was a lot of fun. It got you feel it. It got a little competitive. It was a good time though. It was a lot of fun.
And my other question was, just for both of you, is we all, Kawhi Leonard's been a force in the NBA for a long time, but he's sort of new in town since high school, really. What have you got to know from him? People say he's a funny guy. He said he's that too, right? What have you got to know about him so far, just as a person?
Dude is funny.
Funny as hell.
Really?
He is funny.
He works extremely hard too. Him and PG and Mo. You can go down the list. I'm gonna be honest. We have a really good team. Everyone here knows that. But it starts tomorrow. We're not gonna. I'm gonna take the pressure off everybody right now. We're not gonna talk about championships. We're not gonna talk about any of that right now. We're talking about one day at a time, and that starts with Media Day. It's good to see you, good faces, good people. And tomorrow it's time for business, which is practice. And we're going to try to get the most out of each day. And if you have that mindset and do that, by the end of the day, end of the year, you put yourself in a good position to win a lot of basketball games.
On that note, thank you, fellas. Patrick Beverley, Landry Shamit. Drop the mic, baby. There you go.
Controlling myself.
Thanks, guys. You too. Good to see you. All right, our next duo coming up in just a minute will be JaMychal Green and Ivica Zubac. All right, guys, let's get ready. All right, so next up we have JaMychal Green, Ivica Zubac. I have a question for both of you. As free agents, you both chose to sign back with the Clippers. Can you tell me a little bit about that process for you individually? We'll start with you, JaMychal.
It's a little tough process for me because I was trying to weigh my options, but my heart was here. I just love the culture, my teammates, just the way we fight, and just get through adversity.
Ivica?
Ever since I got traded, front office was saying they want me back for the future, and they think I can be a big part of the team. So when the season was done, it was pretty easy. I wanted to stay. They wanted me to be here, and we got to the agreement really easy.
I'm glad to have you both here today. Let's go with the second row right here. Actually, second row.
This is a question for JaMychal. Kahari
Just
Jones.
your name and affiliation. Sorry.
Kahari Jones, Motivated Purpose. Last year you were traded here, and you were having a family and everything. So can you kind of talk about that transition?
It was a tough transition. I had to leave my family in Memphis. My girl, she was pregnant. My son, he was due any day now. So I just want to thank Doc for giving me the opportunity to get back home and be with the family during that time and during season. And we were trying to finish strong. The team, they did a great job of holding it down when I was gone. And now my family get to come out here. So good about that.
Yeah, right here.
Tomer Zarli from Clutch Points. This is for both of you guys. The playoffs showed how much spacing is going to be important. JaMychal, you showed that. Zoo, you've been expanding your range a little bit. With 2 stars on this team, how important is spacing going to be? Just spread the floor out, obviously.
It's going to be very important. The attention going to be on them. And for us to space the floor, it just opened up opportunities for everybody, for them to drive and kick. And it's just our job to knock the shot down.
Yeah, whatever J-Mike said, I've been working on my shot. That's what the coaching staff wanted me to do. And I always had that shot, but I didn't get a chance to shoot it. So I just needed more reps, and I think I'll be ready this year to, if there's a chance to shoot it.
That's Nashari, Forbes. Zoo, you got a pretty good contract this offseason. What kind of responsibilities have you placed on yourself after getting that contract?
It's a big responsibility. It's big. They showed they trusted me. They gave me a 4-year deal, and I just this summer was my best summer so far. Worked super hard, and even when I went back home, they sent the coaches with me. So I got to prove them I'm worth it, and that's what I'm going to do.
Charles Mockler, Locked On Clippers. JaMychal, you played the 5 a bunch kind of to close out the season in that series against the Warriors. Are you looking forward to playing that more this year, maybe?
Just looking forward to being on the floor, period, with the team. I'm just going to stay true to myself, play hard, defend, and, shoot the open jumper.
Next question, Miriam. Don't fight over it.
Jovan Buha, The Athletic. Zoo, you look noticeably slimmer. Was that one of your goals this offseason?
Yeah, I lost some weight. It was more about losing body fat and gaining some muscle, and I think that's exactly what we did. We worked on it hard, a lot of conditioning and cardio, and I think I'm in the best shape of my life.
Is diet a part of that? What does that entail?
Big part was my diet. I had to change everything up. They were preparing meals for me. Had to cut out sugar and sodas and all the stuff like that, and it really showed me that diet is the most important part of the
process.
transforming your body.
What did you miss the most when you had to cut things out?
I can't say, but like I like desserts, so you know. But it was either help improve my body or just stay the same way. So it was a easy choice at the end.
Eric.
Eric Pingus, whoa, hot mic. Basketball Insider's Bleach Report. Ivica, early on in your career, you were playing with a skyhook, and we haven't seen it for some time. Curious if that's going to come back, and then also the NBA has shifted over the last number of years. It's harder and harder for true 7-foot players to stay on the floor for a long period of time, especially defensively. How do you adjust? Maybe changing your body. How do you adjust to stay on the court?
I'm still working on my sky hook, and you know, I'm just waiting for a chance to use it because it's not an easy shot, and well, I was not playing a lot for the last 3 years, so I didn't want to use my time on the court to shoot a sky hook, and because that wouldn't end up well. So now when I know my role, what my role is, and I'm gonna have more constant minutes. I think this year might be the year when I start taking that shot.
And as far as staying on the court,
it's just the improving my body is a big part, and just being able to guard the guys on perimeter, and just being able to run the floor and understand the game.
Hi guys, welcome back. Miriam Swanson, Southern California News Group. So you guys, I guess A, did you eat the fish that you caught as part of the diet? And then B, you guys really surprised a lot of people last year, and you kind of were like the scrappy, tenacious underdogs. And obviously this year you come in, you know, with the target on your backs. How are you guys handling that? How are you thinking about it and approaching it?
I mean, the cook, she did have fried fish prepared, but we don't know it's the fish we caught. But it's just work, the grind. We know we got a target on our back. We added a core group, so it's not gonna get easy. You know, every game gonna be a dog fight. So just the work we put in gonna prepare us.
Yeah, same like Jermichael said, we're gonna be playing hard as last year. You know, we kept almost the whole team from the last year, and we added some guys who play the same way. So I think it's just gonna be, we're gonna keep it going, so like the last year.
Were you on the fishing trip? You weren't on the fishing trip.
No, I was.
He was the paintball ringleader, though.
Yeah.
So tell me, what was Pat Beverley like that day?
He's crazy. It was. We had a lot of fun at paintball, and you know, it's a great for team bonding. And Pat was all over the place. He was shooting at everyone, even his people on his team. So you know, it's what Pat does, and we just had a lot of fun.
It looked like fun. Next question.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. This is Monique Washington Shannon with Playa Vista Direct. I had a question for Zubac. In regards to when you first got traded, you went to the wrong locker room. How's your transition going now? And also, second question to that, with the team camaraderie you guys are having, piggybacking on the fishing and the pinball, how is that helping you to acquire a new team and new teammates? Thank you.
I didn't go to the wrong locker room, but it was someone was there who I knew, so I went to say hello, and then Doc saw that, and he was like, "Why did you go to the wrong locker room?" So, but yeah, this team events, team stuff we're doing is helping a lot. You know, we've been together whole summer, and it helped us to get a bit better team chemistry. And you know, we're not going into training camp just like not knowing each other. We know the guys, and we're gonna be really good together.
Another question here.
Zoo, Christian Rivas with Time Magazine. You were on a team last summer that caught the biggest fish in free agency and had a lot of expectations going into the season. This summer, you guys did the same thing with Kawhi Leonard. How are those expectations, or how do they feel different on this team? And what do you expect your role to be compared to last season?
It's the team around those stars. Over there, we had a lot of young guys and a lot of guys, like a lot of new guys who never played together. and it was a different kind of feel. But this year, it's just we got the same group of the players around the 2 stars, and all experienced veterans, and I think we're gonna. It's a whole different feeling. Like I feel like we can win a championship.
Another question right here.
Hey guys, Cameron Buford, LA News Observer. Question for you, Zoo. Now you just touched on that. You just opened up a can, I think, by saying you think you can win the championship. I want to know how familiar you were with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard before them joining your squad.
I mean, I didn't know them personally, but I knew what they were doing on the court. I knew they're top. I don't know. I'm not gonna say top what, but they're top players in the league in both ways, and I know their game style, and I just know they're gonna fit perfectly with us.
Hey guys, Josh Martin, Close Up 360, back here. Question for both of you. We've talked about fishing trips and paintball and all that. You were kind of thrown into the mix, both of you, last season, coming over in trades. What's it been like just overall now, being able to have some months here, getting to know guys really on a personal level without that added pressure of just trying to get in the flow during a season?
I feel like last season, we got a good feel for each other, so coming to the summer, it was pretty much easy. We pretty much had to get used to like 2 players, Kawhi and Paul, but the core group we already had was already close.
Yeah, just last year we got to know each other really good, and we're not starting like new players. We know how the team wants to play and how hard they play, and I feel like I've been here for a couple of years.
Next question.
Pavi, HMB Media. Zubac, question for you. Last year you came over, got a chance to play in the playoffs against a team like the Warriors. What did you take from that series and kind of pinpoint things that you needed to get better at coming into the next season?
I realized I gotta work on my shot. I gotta improve my body to stay in front of some of those guys, and it gave me a lot to work on this summer. So next time around playoff time, I'm gonna be ready.
I'm Pranav from the Scorecrow. What part of your games did you guys most work on during the summer?
I just made sure that I got a lot of shots up. Want to continue to knock down threes and continue to open the floor for Zoo, Trez, and ball handling, just getting to the goal and creating for my teammates.
Yeah, I was working on my 3-point shot, trying to be like Jamaica, and work on my body a lot, my finishing, making contact in a paint, and I think that's going to be a big part of my game.
Hey, Zoo. William Updike from Locked On Clippers. Doc has spoken really highly of your ability or upside as a passer. Have you been working on that at all in the offseason? And if so, how do you build that sort of vocabulary with teammates?
It's hard to work on passing, but as we play 5-on-5, as I get to know my teammates better, I know what they like to do in a game, and I know where I can make that pass, and it's just about knowing your teammates and knowing their angles and where they like to play.
Okay, one more. So on the chemistry tip, Ronnie Mcgruder was with you guys in the first round of the playoffs, even though he wasn't on the active roster. What does that say about this group, kind of welcoming a guy who isn't actually on the team into that experience, and then also about him kind of working in that situation?
Rodney, he's a hard worker. Coming in, he was always talking, even though he wasn't giving us tips on the game, when we playing during the game. So he was always a part of the team.
Yeah, Rodney, he was getting in every day like we did, and he was working hard, even though he couldn't play with us, and he was always on the bench supporting us. So he felt like a part of the team from the day one.
All right, guys. Thank you. Michael and Ivica, thank you, guys. right, next up we have Rodney Mcgruder and Jerome Robinson. Take it easy back there. Oh.
I ain't say nothing.
I'm not getting involved in that. You guys ready to go? All right. Any questions? First up. In the back here.
Adam Moslin, the AM 570 LA Sports. Rodney, in watching game film on you, you got a floater in the lane that you also use then later as a pass to high flyers. You have someone like Montrezl Harrell on this team. Could that be a combination and somebody you're looking to create for?
Yeah, it is, and we've been practicing that, in our open gym runs, and also you have other guys who I can do the same thing with, like Zubac, Jermichael as well. We have some real athletic bigs that I look forward to throwing those lobs too.
Gentlemen, Eric Pincus, Basketball Insiders and Bleach Reports, but really didn't get to play. Can you just kind of share what you got from that, and then how easy or difficult it was to make the decision to return? And then also want to get Jerome, just share what you got out of the playoffs. And obviously you're on a veteran team, a young guy. How do you fit in as a young guy and make your way in this situation?
I would say just being a part of this team in that playoff run, I just got to experience the culture and the way things happen here, and it was an easy decision to make, come free agency time, because I wanted to be a part of this culture and love the way guys play. I love practices, how everything went. I love the way Doc coached, so it just made it very simple for me.
And then just as a young guy, it's fun. You got guys kind of not a lot older, but some of them 10 years older than you. But it feels like that they're the same age as you. They've been doing this for so long. They got a routine. They'd like to teach you the ropes. So it was a lot of fun kind of stepping into that as a young guy, and I look forward to it.
Jerome, now that you have a full year under your belt of NBA experience, how was your preparation different this summer as you get ready for this year?
Yeah, so for me, when you go into your first year, everybody, is telling you, how it's going to go, but everybody's experience is totally different. So after you have your first year of experience, then you know how to prep yourself for the summer. You know what you're going to see. You kind of feel like you've seen it before now. Like before, it's a blind room. But after having a full year, now I got to grow this summer, and looking forward to this year.
Lewis Keene, Real GM. Jerome, you've obviously been watching Paul George and Kawhi Leonard play basketball since you were probably in grade school or high school. What's your impression having met them the first time? Were you nervous at all to meet them, and what were they like? What have you found out about them?
I would say I wasn't nervous. Now that I'm in the NBA, you meet a lot of guys that are obviously in the NBA too. So it's you fit right in with them, and they greeted me with open arms. Kawhi, PG, they're both great guys. So it was pretty easy, man. Like even with them coming with the team, like they just fit right in like a puzzle piece. Their personalities, their demeanor, different things like that. It's been a great fit, and it was great to meet them, and now to become one of their brothers as a teammate.
Got a question over here?
Hey, Jerome. William, Locked On Clippers. I just want to ask, how's it been with Shea being shipped off to Oklahoma City? Like, have you guys talked at all, or how do you feel it possibly expands your role with the team?
Yeah, so me and Shea are still really close friends. I just talked to him on the phone yesterday. I went and saw him in Toronto, and he's doing well. But, I mean, it was tough coming in together and then him leaving. But for me, it's just to, keep growing and getting better every day. I know that I want my role to step up, and I know that for me, I have to show that to get on the court. And
the way you got waived and then picked up, but you knew you wouldn't be eligible to play. What was going through your mind? Were you worried that it wouldn't fit? Well, what was going through your mind?
I'm gonna start with the second question. But what went through my head when I got waived, and I understood the logistics of things and why that decision was made. But when I got picked up by the Clippers, I was just thankful, just still be in this league, to, come to a great playoff, a great team, who made the playoffs, had a tremendous run last season, and I just was appreciative of the playoff experience, I would say. You learn a lot just from watching basketball games up close. Like, even it's better to watch a game up close than on TV. You see the things, the little details and stuff that you might miss. You being in the huddles, learning how Doc's style of play, and learning how guys reacting in the heat of the moment. So I was thankful for that opportunity. But I would say Miami and the Clippers are both two first-class organizations. Ran from great historic people from top to bottom. So I'm just thankful to be able to be part of two tremendous organizations.
Question over here.
Hey guys, Christian Rivas, Time Magazine. Jerome, when you look at the roster, there's a very clear need, or spot I should say, for a guard on the roster to soak up big minutes. How confident are you that you can slide into either the one or the two, and how did the offseason prepare you to take on a role like that?
Yeah, for me, I'm very confident about that. I think that's why I'm here, is to step into that role and to grow as a player. And I know, as game time comes, you get better and better. For me, it's just to, help this team win. Do whatever I have to do to get those minutes, either it's the one or the two, and just play hard. I know playing hard is the number one thing that's going to keep you on the court.
Miriam.
Jovan Buha, The Athletic. This one's for both of you, though. Jerome, you just kind of touched on that. This is such a deep roster, especially on the wings at like the 2 and the 3. What do you guys think you have to do or show individually to kind of carve out the role that you think you deserve?
Me personally, I think you just have to be yourself. Like, don't try to do anything that's out of your character. Just go out there and play the game of basketball that you've been playing with confidence, and everything else will handle itself.
I second that. That's a big thing, is just being yourself. Don't do too much, and go out there and play hard. With this team, with Doc, defense and the offensive side, they'll take care of themselves, and you just got to trust the system.
Hi guys, Miriam Swanson, Southern California News Group. Welcome Rodney, welcome back Jerome. Rome, when you started the year last year, the Clippers were overlooked and you guys surprised a lot of people. You come in this year, not overlooked at all, favorites maybe. And how does that feel different, and how, kind of what goes through your mind sort of in that respect?
I would say that it's funny that you kind of say the difference, but like none of our approach has kind of been different. Like, we're a grinded out guys, we're a grinded out team. Our pickups have been super intense. So there was no difference as far as like our preparation for this year. It wasn't laid back. Like, oh, it's gonna be a long year. We're here to win every game we step on the court. So it's been really no difference.
Kahari Jones, Motivated Purpose. It's a lot of veterans on this team. So who would you all say is your biggest mentors, and what are you learning from them?
Yeah, so I learned different things from each one of them. Pat and Lou, I've been with the longest. So they're not total opposite players, but Pat's mentality as far as the defensive end, and then Lou's offensive abilities are both remarkable on both sides, and just being able to pick their brains, and them being such open people and loving guys that, like, they'll sit here and talk to you about basketball and teach you, walk you through it, until you get it. Working like those guys are very willing people to work with you and to learn from.
Pranav from the Scorecard. What are the film sessions with the Doc like?
Long.
Yeah, they are long. They are long film sessions. But it's just so much knowledge. But you start to kind of get the routine of it. We go over the offense, we go over the defense, and it's an open room. If somebody has input to put in, they're gonna put their input in, and if it clashes, and they're going to talk it out and figure out the right solution for us to be better.
All right, we got time for one more.
Hey guys, Andrew Greif, LA Times. For both of you guys, you talked about how Paul was giving you some insight recently into your game. He made it sound like he hasn't really been able to go in those preseason intense workouts you guys have had. But what has he brought, despite not really being out there on the court with you guys for some of that 5-on-5 run? Is there something he's helped out with?
I would just say just his presence. He's had that playoff experience. So just his knowledge and is just him being there for real. Like sometimes guys don't have to do anything, but just their presence in the room, you kind of feel them and you feel their support. And you know that they're there for you, and we all just excited for one another.
Yeah, I would say his presence is the biggest thing. You see him getting better every day, him grinding. At the same time, you're doing the same thing, but his presence, being able to watch, being able to talk, it's been a great experience with those guys.
Rodney, Jerome, thank you guys.
Thank you all.
Next up, we have Mo Harkless and Pat. All right, who has the first question here? Where's the mic?
Tomer Zarla from Clutch Points, right up here. What was it like for you? What was your impression of this up here, right here, right? Yeah. What was your impression of this Clippers team and franchise? They had a surprising year last year by some standards. What was your impression of them before, and now that you're part of the team, what are your impressions of this team now?
Oh, my bad. With me, it's just outside looking in. Every time I played against them, just the incredible amount of work that they put into the game. Always a tough opponent no matter what. They played together. They played hard. They played with each other out on that court. So just knowing that every time you play against them, it's going to be a tough game no matter what players want to be out there.
Yeah, kind of similar to what he said, just always they brought that toughness and that grittiness to every game. It would never be an easy game against them no matter who they had on the floor. And it's kind of hasn't changed since I've been here, at least.
Gio Garcia with the Fantasy Sports Cave. Can you guys talk about Montrezl Harrell and the type of player he is and type of conversations that you guys have had?
Tough, physical, energetic, speaks his mind, not afraid of anyone, doesn't back down. Conversation's just been about getting to know each other, newly acquired to this team, so just trying to talk to as many guys as possible, get to know them, become family, enjoy being around each and every individual, and focus on the season, focus on this year, talk about dreams, aspirations, and goals individually and collectively as a team.
To me, Trez is just one of those guys who's going to do whatever it takes to win the game. He plays extremely hard. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and he goes out every night and leaves it out on the floor, and that's the kind of teammates that I like to have.
As two of the new faces with this team and with this roster, what is it that, and for both of you, that you're looking to bring to the Clippers?
With me, defense. I think this is like my 9th year in the league, so just experience, veteran, just a veteran, a guy in the league who's been around for a while, and just offering my, thoughts, and out there on the court, just defense and just shooting.
I think I just want to, kind of just add to what they already have built here. That toughness. I think I bring that with my game, and just impacting the game and just trying to help win games. I go out there and I try to do whatever I can on any given night to help my team win, and I think that fits right in here.
Question over here.
Hey guys, Christian Rivas, Time Magazine. Mo, you were a part of that really exciting first-round Western Conference playoff series against Oklahoma City and, of course, Paul George. Has that come up at all ever since you've been with the team?
It's a sensitive subject for this guy too. We talked about it a little bit. He asked me about the shot that everybody obviously knows about, what I thought about it. But we didn't really talk too much about it. We're on the same team now, and that's what we're focused on.
And then when as people that have either played Paul George closely in a playoff series or played with him. What can you say about Paul and how both of you guys round out that forward rotation by complimenting guys like Paul and Kawhi?
With Paul, he's obviously a tough guy to play against, and Kawhi as well. Let's just say that I'm glad that we're on the same side now. I'm looking forward to being out there playing with them and just bringing the same energy and play that I brought last year when we were on the opposite sides of the floor.
Yeah, same thing. Just trying to do whatever I can to help out. Whatever's asked of me, just putting my all and everything into it.
Jovan Buha, The Athletic. You guys are both veterans who've been on good teams that have made deep playoff runs. What stands out or is different about this roster and being in these open gym runs? What have you guys seen?
I think just the focus that we've had since day one. I mean, since I've gotten here with the pickup, with the workouts, it's just been really intense, and that's how good teams are built. I think it starts in September, it starts in August, and I think that we've embraced that here, and I should say they've embraced it, and I kind of just fell into it, and I'm looking forward to being out there and experiencing the season with these guys.
Same thing. Everyone's focused, mindset coming here early September. Everyone's pretty much been here the entire month. From the work, putting in on the court, to hanging out, talking to each other off the court. You can just tell that there's some type of some drive. There's some type of force in everyone's mind for this season.
Where does that start? Where does that drive and that force start?
With yourself, individually. Just realizing the opportunity that's in front of you, realizing the type of talent that we have on the team, and most importantly, realizing, this moment, you only get this one opportunity. So all those factors just coming together and just everyone just enjoying playing alongside one another out there.
Hello. I'm sorry. How you guys doing? This is TPJ of Hoops and Brews. This question is for both of you. Obviously, you come from two different teams. What are the biggest adjustments you all feel you have to make this year, kind of coming to this Clippers squad, especially with so many players in the front court?
For me, it's just role. When you come to any new situation, it's just finding your role and being the best that you can be in that role given to you. So coming to this new team, new situation, a lot of players, a lot of bodies, a lot of guys who can go out there and, do their job to the best of their extent. Just being given a role and being the best that I can be in that role that's given to me.
Kind of the same thing, just being able to embrace any situation and make the most of it. I feel like this year I'll have an opportunity to do a lot of different things and play a lot of different roles throughout the season. So it's kind of just being able to adjust and adapt on a night-to-night basis.
Eric Pingus, Basketball Insiders and Bleach Report. Mo, you were traded, obviously. Patrick, you chose the Clippers. But can you share, Mo, the experience of being traded? Were you surprised that you were traded? Were you happy with the result? What went through your mind through that process?
That trade process this summer was actually kind of weird. At first I got the phone call. I was getting traded. I thought I was going to Miami. And then I'm not sure if it was the same day or the next day, I got a phone call saying that I was going to actually be coming here. It's just a new opportunity for me is always a good thing. It's just an opportunity to make whatever you want out of it. So that's the way I look at it. I look at a new opportunity as a good thing, and it's just I get to come in here and just pretty much, make my own story, and it's kind of like an opportunity to just make whatever I want of it. So it's in my control, and I just got to come in every day and make the most of it and, accomplish these goals that I have.
Lewis Keene, Real GM. Patrick, you were on that Oklahoma City Thunder that seemed to have a disappointing end to the season. What do you think happened there, and what lessons will you take from that going into this season with the Clippers, who obviously have high expectations and would deem, many results?
Into details with that, but just a combination of things from players, coaches, owners, just whole entire team was just one big effort as far as us failing, as far as the season not going the way that we wanted it to. It's just a combination of everything throughout the course of the season and also in the playoffs as well. So that's all I'll say with that. But to make sure it doesn't happen with this team, we have so many guys, so many veterans, so many guys who have years of experience, so many guys who have been through trials and tribulations, so many guys who are hungry, you know, from Mo, myself, Kawhi, Pat, Trez, Lou, just so many guys, so many different personalities, so much experiences in life. So just coming here from day one and just seeing the hungriness in everyone's eyes and the togetherness, just try our best not to have the season go the opposite direction that we wanted to.
Rajon Johnson, Spark Sports. This question is for Patrick. Last year you said you needed to get passing out of your mind because you passed up on too many good looks. Do you still feel you're too passive with the ball, or do you feel you've become more of an aggressive scorer?
Oh, yeah. Since we've been back here in at the beginning of this month and we started playing pickup, the first thing Pat Bev said to me is, yo, Pat, shoot the ball. Because a couple pickups, a couple games that we've been running up in here, you know, just trying to get out of that mindset of overpassing the ball, you know, passing up opportunities, chances to shoot, having conversations with coaching staff and other fellow teammates. But I'm gradually getting back to it, you know, as we go through training camp, you know, get shooting on my mind rather than trying to make the next playing pass.
Hi, William Updike, Locked On Clippers. Mo, loving the headband. This is, I guess, for both of you. Do either of you have an opinion on the ninja style headband ban? And could we see either of you, possibly both of you, start a new trend with headwear this season?
I don't know why they banned it. I wish they didn't. I liked it last year. And I'm going to try some different things out, see what I like. I don't really like this one, so it makes my head hurt.
I might rock a Scully. Who knows? Like, I feel like if you rock it once, they allow you, and then like the next day you may get like an email or a notification saying you can't do it. So I feel like something will happen. A Scully, do-rag, wave cap, something.
Definitely might try a do-rag.
Do-rag?
I look forward to that. Any other questions here? Front row.
Pranav from the Scorecrow. You guys have bounced around several destinations. How eager are you guys for the season to start?
I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited for the season to start, just like any other season. I don't think where we're playing at matters to me. You know, it's just about being out there and getting going in the season, you know, and that's exciting in itself.
Yeah, we're one of the lucky guys who are able to do something that they love on a daily basis. So as soon as tomorrow hits, you know, we're all just focused and ready to get out there and just get to work.
Kahari Jones, Motivated Purpose. In recent interviews, you all both talked about revitalizing your career. Do you all feel like that the Clippers, playing with the Clippers, has the opportunity to do that?
I mean, I think it's a good opportunity for, you know, all of us, not only us two, just there's all of us to go out there and, you know, make some special things happen as a group. And with that comes individual recognition and whatever else. But I think the focus should just be our team and winning as many games as possible, making a deep playoff run.
Same thing. Well said.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other ones? Miriam? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right,
Miriam.
so
You got the mic.
hi guys, welcome to LA, both of you. It's Miriam Swanson, Southern California News Group. Patrick, I know you're a big movie guy. Wondering if you're going to take advantage of the proximity to the business of Hollywood to kind of advance that part of your life at all?
Try to have a balance of both. Obviously, the number one focus is basketball. Number one focus is to win a championship. So that's my main thing, but try to find, you know, some time to have opportunities to, you know, have conversations with people in that world who can help me.
Irvin Gardino, LA News Observer. Is there a sneaker competition going on in the locker room? Because you have the LeBron MVPs and your other teammates have, you know, they're bringing some heat. Is there a little secret competition, or who has the best heat when it comes to the locker room?
I think Trez thinks he's got it pretty much down. I'm gonna just let him have it, whatever. I'm not too into, you know, getting crazy on the court, you know. But today was a day that we're just walking around, so I figured I'd pull something out of my closet.
Yeah, I rock like the same pair of shoes all season long, so you'll see these 82 games.
Literally the same ones, or you just
The
get
same exact shoe. If it holds up, 82 games.
Nice. Durability. Any other questions? All right, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have one final pairing coming up in just a minute. Fiondu, Kelley, and Terrence Mann will be here in a second. Last but not least, Terrence and Fee. Who wants to start the questions here? In the front row?
Hello, Pranav from the Score Crow. How excited were you guys when you got the phone call from the Clippers that they were saying that they were gonna draft you guys?
Yeah, so I was picked, and then when I got picked and go through the whole media circuit, I was talking to L, and he said, your man Terrence is on the board still. And I said, yeah, it was going to be crazy. He's like, how crazy would it be if you would play with him? And I said, it'd be insane. But at that time, the picture was still going through. And as I was going through the whole media circuit, I was walking to TVs, and when the Clippers were up and they picked Terrence Mann, I was ecstatic. So it was insane to kind of see that me and him being in college and then on the same team now.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that he got picked by the Clippers because it was a Brooklyn Nets pick. But when I heard I was getting picked, I was extremely excited, to be able to, stay in the sun because I was in Florida and now I'm in Cali, so I was excited for that part. But, and the team that they had going on the playoff run and all of that. So, I was just extremely excited for myself and my family.
There we go. Charles Mockler, Locked On Clippers. Terrence, during the playbook event, Jerry West mentioned he was really excited to see you play this year. What's it mean to have a player and executive of his stature be excited to see you play?
It means everything, just who he is, him being able to acknowledge my game and what I bring to the table means a lot to me. I talk to him, often every time he comes to the gym, just give me little pointers. Stuff that I need to do to get better. So it's just amazing to have a guy like that around.
Jovan Buha, The Athletic. You guys are both still rookies, haven't even played in a preseason game yet, but you've been around the team now for the greater part of a month. What have you picked up over these weeks from the runs and just being fishing trip, all that different stuff?
I picked up a lot. I see that we're a very mature team. We got a lot of vets, guys who've been different places, so they're always giving us different pointers. But we have great chemistry so far. We're always doing stuff together, always talking about winning things and stuff like that. So, just being around for a month, I see everybody, is kind of connected, and a lot of guys that know what they're doing.
Myself personally, I recognize that these guys are very wise. Everything we do is very efficient. There's not a lot of dead time. They want to save as much energy as possible and do things the right way. Just talking to them on, private conversations, being around them in the locker room, they're very insightful. They've seen a lot throughout the league. Everyone had a different journey to get to where they are now. So it's been kind of cool to see their different paths. So just picking up on those little things and practice habits and building a routine, just learning from them. So it's been really great.
Josh Martin from Close Up 360. This is for both of you. Who are your respective vets, and have they assigned you any rookie duties yet?
So our vets basically have been all the older guys like Pat, Mo, Lou, and one of the small things you have to do is get the towels, make sure everybody get towels. If you're on the training table, you gotta get stretched too. You gotta get off. So just a little bit of a hierarchy. Ain't nothing to it. It's nothing too crazy. So that's pretty much it for me.
Same, towels, mainly towels. We haven't hit training camp yet, but we have to do a lot of other stuff, but a lot of towels. A lot of towels.
Hey, Farbodas Nashari, Forbes. Last season, we saw Jerome get his car popcorn for not following his rookie duties. Did he give you guys any kind of tips or pointers on being a rookie on this team?
Yeah, just whatever they say, just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it. If they say get a specific thing, just do it. No questions asked, and bring it to them on time. not earlier, not late, on a specific time.
Yeah, I don't plan, but what he said.
What are you guys looking forward to the most about playing your first year in the NBA? Terrence, you want to start?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to learning a lot. I'm really excited with the team that that I'm on, just because, like I said, there's so many older guys. So I'm really excited to learn, to help me in my career, because they all been through so much and they all come from different paths. So just being able to learn from guys like that is what I'm most excited about, and to win.
I'm curious. I'm excited just carving my niche in the league, with so many talented guys on our team, and just finding my role and just learning from Doc. I'm just super excited to have my learning curve, my learning bumps throughout the season, and kind of finding my role and kind of honing that. And as the season progresses, just kind of owning it and excelling in that role.
Tomer Zarley from Clutch Points. What's been told to you guys about staying ready every night? Because there's nights where injuries could happen. Guys could sit out due to rest. What have you guys been told about staying ready every night? And is that something you have to prepare for mentally more than physically?
I would say it's both. It's a nice happy medium in between. You just really gotta, even if you're not playing, you got to be on that court early, get your workout in before the games, get a good game rep workout so that your wind is ready. You're in great shape, great stamina, just in case your number does get called. And then it's definitely a mental thing, because a lot of people go from playing a lot from where they came from to sometimes not playing very much, and they never been through something like that. So it's definitely a big time mental thing. But like I said, being able to have vets like this where, some of them have been through that, you can ask them how they got through it and, learn from that.
For me personally, I feel like it's mental. I mean, the coaching staff do a great job preparing you physically, whether it be drills, conditioning, lifting weights. So you're obligated. They're going to take care of that. But the stuff when you're owning your own responsibility is mentally. Every game you got to act like, okay, I got to be ready if my name is called. And that's the mental challenge by yourself. No coach or player can really kind of do that other than yourself, because everyone else just kind of takes care of everything else. So if you just focus on mentally preparing yourself, acting as if you're ready to play, even if your name is not called, and if it is, just be ready. So that's the kind of the challenges that I'm going to face, just being mentally ready all the time.
Hey guys, I'm Miriam Swanson, Southern California News Group. So you guys both went and played in Summer League and did pretty well there. What did you learn there, and what did sort of that experience do for you and your confidence?
I learned a lot. The spacing of the floor, or the pace of the game, even though it's not to the degree of NBA and NBA season, especially even in the playoffs, it's good to get a little taste of it, just because, guys, it's much different in college. The offenses are different, different roles. So to be a part of that and have a decent summer league with my teammate, it was really fun to, build that more chemistry, because in college, we ran different offenses. In the NBA, we ran something differently. So it was kind of cool to get that gel.
For me, I learned a whole new position. I came from playing, on the wing most of the time, to Summer League, having the ball in my hands, having to run the team, know guys' tendencies on my teams, know where they like the ball, know what they do. So it was just a lot of learning, also in Summer League. So, that's what I really had to take in, just kind of finding, what I do best and, excelling at that position.
Hi, Amanda Skurlock, LA Sentinel. I'm wondering, could you tell me your observations of the Clippers' run in the playoffs this past season, and what did you guys learn from that?
Those guys are very gritty and tenacious, because, watching that player from when I was in college, just seeing those guys, they faced Golden State in that first round when they were the healthiest they ever been, and they competed really well. And to see that kind of grit and toughness from Doc all the way down, it just really inspired me, because, although they weren't maybe as talented at the time, they still stepped to the challenge. And now that we have more pieces now, it just gives me more confidence going to the regular season and into the playoffs.
Yeah, for me, I just like how they play with toughness. The toughness really stood out. Kind of had everybody talking about it, across the world who was watching, how tough they played them, and they didn't back down. And they knew that people thought they had less talent, and they knew the team that they were facing, but you could tell that they were playing with confidence. And you could see when the team believes in themselves, it shows, and, that's what I saw.
What's the best piece of advice either of you have been given on surviving your first year in the NBA, whether it's being ready to play on any given night when your number is called, or just the challenges and obstacles that might present themselves along the way?
For me, I got some good advice from Jerome. He told me take it day by day. Don't think too far ahead. Don't think about yesterday. Just try to get better every day that you're there. Always do something to try and get better every day, and then it'll stack up and add up.
For me personally, a lot of the vets told me to create a routine because the NBA season is so chaotic and it's so sometimes up and down. To kind of own that something that's consistent is something to find, whether it be a shooting routine, a diet, or whatever. Create that routine just so you have something consistent in your life, especially in a chaotic NBA season.
Any other questions?
It's great. I'm always going to have somebody to talk to when I'm struggling or vice versa. So whenever, a challenge presents themselves, if you need someone to talk to, we're kind of doing the same thing together. When I was in college, I was a freshman. He was an upperclassman. He showed me the ropes. So now it's, we're kind of doing it at the same time. And now, we can have those kind of conversations because we're both going through the same thing.
Yeah, I would say it's a lot easier to transition with somebody that you're familiar with. Just being able to talk to other rookies from other teams. They don't have it how we have it. We've known each other for a long time. We were one of each other's favorite teammates in college. So, we know what each other wants, what our needs are, what our goals are, and stuff like that. So it's a lot easier to transition in with that.
Are you guys rooming together?
No, we're not.
No.
We live close, though.
No, we're very close. We need that space.
I can't live with him, but come on.
Why is he messy?
Nah, he's not through these doors. Yeah.
Question over here. Anyone else? What about the advice that the veterans on the team have told you in terms of playing for Doc and what kind of coach he is?
One of the things I did appreciate was Doc doesn't really, he does care about offense, but, make a mistake on offense, he's not really, adamant on that. It's mostly on the defensive end. If you lack on defense, mess up on the coverage, that's when Doc kind of turns up a little bit. So you get that freedom on offense, but you have to bring it back to him on defense. So that's something I appreciate because Coach Ham back in college had the similar philosophy.
For me, just playing point guard now, just be the turnovers. The vets told me, he doesn't like turnovers. I don't think any coach does, but, just being able to, watch that and not turn the ball over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nobody likes turnovers. Anyone else here? Miriam?
College on the wing, but as a kid, were you?
Yeah, so growing up, I always played guard on my teams. High school, senior year, I played point guard. And then in college, my freshman year of college, I played the 4. So it was a big, big difference. But, I was just on the team at the time trying to do whatever it took for my team to win. I didn't really care so much. And then I didn't play point guard all through college up until, the end of my senior year. I would play a little bit of point guard here and there. So, not much in college for the past few years. But when I got in summer league, it just came back naturally. And, even when we've been playing here. So it's a lot of fun.
Montrezl Harrell from Clutch Points. I'm curious, when that moment sinks into you guys, in the NBA, and then, for example, 2K. Are you guys big 2K players? When you see yourselves in the game, what's that moment like for you?
For me, it was crazy just because I grew up playing, 2K and NBA Live and all that stuff. And it was always a dream of mine, but I really didn't, think it would really come true. But, this is crazy to see me in video game form. They have everything perfect, tattoos, hair. They didn't give me a haircut, though, so it was kind of messed up. But it was amazing to see.
It was nice just seeing myself. I look good. I like it. My rating's pretty good. I'm going to get it up. But I appreciate it. You play games. You make it my career. You kind of visualize yourself kind of going through it. And now that you're actually in the game and, I'm passing the ball to Kawhi, and I'm really going to pass the ball to Kawhi in real life. So it's pretty dope.
Since you guys know each other so well and since you're new in this market, what is one thing that you could, a little known fact about each other that you can tell me, Terrence, about Fee and vice versa?
Well, for Fee, I just know that when I'm around him, he likes to listen to music a lot.
What kind of music?
He likes a lot of rap. He listens to Gunna, probably. Well, Fee is interesting. Let me tell you a little story about Fee. He'll get songs and he'll look up the lyrics and read them and learn them. So he knows every lyric to every song that he likes, and he listens to it over and over and over. So I had to get used to that, of him coming in the room playing the same song again. I'm like, yo, So I'm used to it now. So I just, listen to it with him, act like I like it with him. Yeah. Get him all happy. But nah, we like the same music though. But that's one thing about him. He likes to listen to music all the time. Like no matter what we're doing, he has to turn on his phone, play music, and I had to get used to that. But now I'm used to it. So that's a good fact about Fee.
Fun fact about Terrence, the same way I am with lyrics, he's the same thing about food. We go at the restaurants, he's very loyal to Chipotle. Since he's been in California, we've been going to Rio Cafe, so he's a big fan of that. So same toppings, same everything. So that's him.
The Clippers have a whole staff who are going to help you eat better than Chipotle, just so you know.
Yeah, I've heard. Everybody's on me about it.
Any other questions? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
How are you guys doing today? Welcome to Los Angeles. I had a question piggybacking on the regimen. You mentioned about the daily regimen. They always say a daily routine gets you to your dreams. So regarding your routines with your eating, speaking of food, do you guys see the importance of that? And have you, I know you like the Rio place, but have you tried the new nutritional way and see how it makes you feel?
Recently, our nutritionist has been really great, giving us so many good options, especially when we leave the facility. And, just certain foods that she tells us, people just tell you the certain foods and nutritions, but I appreciate them because they tell us, the effects that it has on the court specifically, because that's what it comes down to, how slow you feel, the sluggish recovery time, and the foods that help with that and don't. So they've been really great since I've been here about, presenting those kind of things to me.
Yeah, Fee and I are pretty good about eating healthy, though. For the most part, we're really good about it. I think we started in college. Like last year, we started about doing that. Our whole team really started it. But yeah, that's just what we do. We've always been kind of into eating healthy food and stuff like that. So we're gonna bring it with us here, I hope. And LA is really like friendly for eating healthy, so it's easy.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you all for being here today on a Sunday for Clippers Media Day, and that is a wrap.